somewhere down the line, we just stopped communicating with each other. Happy holidays, RNL fam! Welcome back to the channel.
If you guys are new here, smash that subscribe button down below.
And don't forget to
your breast stings. Jingle that notification bell.
Because we post. Oh.
Subscribe or Leo will breathe in your face.
Right. Please breathe in my face. Because we post videos every other day for Vlogmas. Hey.
Hey.
So today's video we want to. Okay. So 2 videos ago, we posted a rapid Q&A, right?
Right.
And then the first question was,
do you guys ever fight?
Do you guys ever fight? Something like that. And we're like, yeah, just recently. We almost had to go to therapy, and people were like, excuse me, you can't just brush over that and not talk about it.
It was a rapid Q&A, yes we can.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick and choose a few of those questions and probably elaborate on some of these vlogs where the kids and everybody in the life is kind of crazy, and we have no time to do vlogs. So I feel like having a nice sit down here and there, especially with him working and me taking Josiah and with R&R and all that, it gets kind of like a lot. So I feel like you guys will enjoy this as well. If you can, hit that like button right now. It makes it seem like we're really cool. And don't forget to comment, because we love reading the comments. We can't reply to all of them, obviously, but we do read them all, and we love reading them. We do, especially when I'm breastfeeding. I'm like, Anyways.
You're so cute.
I talked a lot just now. Do you have anything?
Huh? I don't have anything. You said it all.
Alright, so we're going to elaborate on what happens and why it happened and how do we get through it. I think this would be great for people who are married, just in a relationship, because you know, sometimes when you're watching YouTube people, you're like, oh my goodness, they're so perfect, their life is so perfect, and life is so good and fairy tale and blah blah blah, you know. But honestly, it's not. Right. And I think when you have the mentality, your relationship can fail. Yes. If you think everything's gonna be perfect. You think,
does that make sense?
Okay, I'm gonna get some water. Let's be vulnerable today. You ready?
Okay.
Alright, so how did we ended up where we were? Lucas looking at me like, girl, what kind of tea are you going to spill today?
What are you about to do?
What you about to say? Because it's real. Okay, so, there's 2 things I want to say. One, a lot of people ask, can YouTube destroy relationships? Okay. And I don't think so, but I can see how. Yes and a no. Yeah. And 2, it's very important to court. I don't think YouTube was the sole problem of what was going on. I think it was a collection of things, right? Somehow down the line, because me and Lucas are very, very good communicators. We barely fight. We barely fought before. Barely fought. Literally. Yeah. Never fought, because we're always like on one accord, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say once YouTube started, because it wasn't YouTube at the sense of like the content, the this and the that. It was more like the amount of work came with it. I will say, jump in, baby, if you want to jump in. I'm gonna finish my thought. Yeah. Okay. So I would say, and this is not just YouTube, guys. This could be starting a job, getting promoted in a job, anything that's big. So kids is another one. But it's funny because when we added Lillian, that workload was a lot. Right. It was a huge shift in like we used to hang out all day, watch anime, work out, do whatever we wanted, you know. And we added Lillian, it changed into like, okay, now like 90% of your day is dealing with a child. I think we both shifted very well when it came with Lillian, because we are very similar people in a sense of like, my nails are jacked, guys.
She's trying to get them off one at a time. They're glued on there.
They're glued. This guy did such a good job with my nails, and I'm ready for it to be off because I'm done enough explosive diaper changes for these to come off, and I'm slowly trying to pry them off. Yes, I know I need to probably get some, what do you call it, nail polish remover. I didn't know that before because I never wear fake nails. And after I started bleeding, because I was ripping it off, somebody suggested, but time to get it is of the essence. Right. All right, so ADD moment, sorry about that. So with Lillian, we were both like so dedicated to her that we didn't mind a change, but I think it probably started there in the sense of like, we didn't really have time to ourselves anymore.
Right.
So we stopped really going out to eat, going to downtown and like hanging out by the beach. Wow, this is like therapy right now.
This is nice.
This is nice.
Yeah.
I don't edit much out. I'm just leave it all in. You guys are just gonna get some popcorn, enjoy this. We're just gonna be raw with each other.
Yeah.
You know, comment down below as we talk if you experience this or, you know, what do you suggest. Anyways, and not only that, like, you have to remember we have no babysitters or anything. We don't live in their family.
We live far away.
We live far away. We didn't really get a lot of quarantine times now, right? She's 3. But like, we sprinkle here and there, like we on a cruise, but still, when we're on a cruise, like,
But still with her,
we went on a cruise and literally every single second of that day, we were with Lillian. Like, there was not a second we were not with her.
Yeah.
I remember one time we filmed the pause challenge, she was napping and we slipped out for like 20 minutes tops and we came back and we were with her the whole time. So there was still not, I mean, there was one night that we slipped out, but it was like, she was nighttime, she was sleeping, but it was still like 20 minutes, you know? So yeah, so we didn't really get to court, right? So, I'm so sorry if I'm talking too much, Lucas.
You're doing great.
So I think when you throw in work, right? So now I'm back at work, Lucas at working, right? But it still wasn't that big of a deal because I worked in the school system, summer times, you know, it was off. So we had a lot more time, right? So we threw YouTube. YouTube now was work.
Right.
It was really nice because when it came for YouTube now, me and Lucas actually started hanging out together.
Right.
So we, especially in the beginning, like thoroughly enjoyed the videos, you know?
That's back when we could post like
whatever we wanted. We posted whatever we wanted back then. And yes, it was back when we posted whatever we wanted. Nobody really was watching us like that, so it didn't matter. So we were just having fun with like the spicy ramen noodle challenge, we just spit funny laughing challenge, and like we just did whatever we wanted, you know? And like it was kind of like, if you're here for the ride, here for the ride, hey, you know? And then, you know, as we started growing, I mean, then it gets more like political. Now, if you notice now, like we're just posting whatever we wanted. We're not posting for the views. We're posting, now we're back to like posting whatever we wanted, if that makes sense, because I think that's where part of the downfall came too, in a sense of like, you know, back then it was like, oh, now we gotta start thinking of what to post and what people want to see, and like things were just getting like crazy, like what's the next big thing, you know what I'm saying? So in a sense of like that sense, YouTube became more stressful. Then on top of that, I was pregnant. Hormones were going crazy. Pregnant, YouTube, and then our jobs, my job was an hour away, you know what I'm saying? And I was working a lot. And then on top of it even more, Lillian was like the best sleeper. Like she could sleep, she fell asleep at 8. I woke up at 7:30. Boom. During like, especially the quarantine time, she was waking up like 2 times at night, right?
In the middle of the night,
And then throw on top of that,
she was dropping her nap.
She dropped her nap too. So we had no break. And then we were in quarantine. It's not the fact that we hung out together that was the issue. It was the fact that quarantine meant,
it's like cabin fever.
Right. Quarantine meant like no family coming over.
No bush
Quarantine
gardens.
meant no bush gardens. Quarantine was, I'm stressed out about me and my health. You know, I'm stressed out about everything because, you know, I'm pregnant during the quarantine, you know? So I think a lot of things kind of pop, and then my, you know, there's things that happened where people said things and I was getting really hurt by them, and like, you know, probably wouldn't still get hurt if I wasn't pregnant, but I'm more of a blunt personality person, so I definitely wouldn't have been as hurt now as I was pregnant. That makes sense? Leo, lay down. Lay down.
You're good.
Lay down. So I think, lay down. So I think as all those things built up, we kind of, oh yeah, sorry, I'm not ADD, I promise. Lucas also wasn't working because he was the last one hired at his new job. And so he was the first one to let go when consensus dropped. So if you didn't know, Lucas is a physical therapist and I'm a speech therapist. So my job ended up switching to teletherapy, which was awesome because that meant I could keep working. So, but now I'm working 30 hours a week. Then I have to edit 3 videos, come up with the ideas, do this, take care of kids, pregnant as mess, puberty symphysis, pelvic crack and can't walk. So life in my head was getting like crazy. That makes sense. Leo. Oh, maybe we should do that.
Yeah, Leo. You're gonna make the sign up. You're putting him back to bed. It was a lot. There's a lot of stressful things going on. It was like a huge life shift for everybody.
Right.
So for me, going from working, providing for my family, making money, to like to staying home. Now you're like the, you know, because you're working, you're doing your thing, and I'm taking care of Lillian all day. She's
just kidding. It's still a job. Taking care of Lillian. I mean, taking care of the kids, stay-at-home mom.
Right.
And dad is it's work.
Right. No, for sure. So she was dropping naps. It was a very stressful time in a sense of like it was just stressful. It was.
Right. It was stressful. Right. Yeah. I won't say, and I should take YouTube out of that because honestly, it wasn't just YouTube. There was like 10 other factors, but I think that was one of the factors. That's why I said YouTube too. And as I'm talking, I'm remembering all the other factors. I cracked. My head just went cuckoo. I don't know where the communication fell. Please, guys, what I'm telling you, the takeaway of this message, if it's too long, didn't read, is communication. Because somewhere down the line, we just stopped communicating with each other. Like, let's say he did something that was hurtful to me, right? And it could be honestly the dumbest thing. I would be hurt by it, you know? But he's just like, oh, I mean, it's no big deal. Like.
So for me, it was more of a roles and responsibilities thing. So if I'm doing, you know, like, if I'm doing housework or taking care of Lillian, you know, I feel like my whole day is booked.
Right.
And at the same time, your whole day is booked as well. So it's kind of like we butt heads in a sense of, it's like,
oh, that's true. The world,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
I think that was the biggest.
It's almost like a role reversal.
Yep, that was the biggest thing. You're right about the whole, I forgot. That's like how it started, where it was roles and responsibilities. If we just weren't clicking with the roles and responsibilities, because COVID kind of messed us up in that sense.
Yeah.
Where like, we were on that's really good right there. Yeah. We were on such a steady like role responsibilities, and it just kind of jacked it up.
Yeah, we both knew our jobs, and we both were like really proficient at them.
Right.
And we were happy with it, and then it just got like flipped upside down. But then at the same time, you were the editor, so you kept that responsibility, and then you were the sole person working.
Right. So you're adding Lily, which was a lot.
Different, yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like,
it was draining, especially at first. But like, I got used to it.
Right.
But it was very draining at first.
So I think we were both drained. So I was drained by working over 30 hours a week, editing, pregnant, this, that, and he was drained by, you know, taking care of Lily and this. So we're both super drained. And when you get super drained, you get irritated, like, period. You guys saw that I ended up getting postpartum depression during my pregnancy because of everything. And the one thing I did was stop filming. I stopped filming. She told me, like, okay, what is one thing that you can control to put a pause on to reduce the amount of stuff you have on your plate? And I said, honestly, it's YouTube. I stopped filming as much. I would film like once a week or none that week or something like that. And it felt so good. It felt so good to stop caring about filming and YouTube and videos and stuff. And as I took that break, I literally reevaluated my life. And I'm like, Rachel, honestly, what do you want out of YouTube? I'm like, I want to have fun again. Then have fun. Who cares about the views? That's what we did. Like, when I came back, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna post what we wanna post, we wanna see, and like, and it's, you know, and the rest is history. Anything we posted, if it got the views, it got the views. If it didn't, it didn't. But guess what? It's what we truly cared about, what we truly wanted to see. And if you guys enjoyed it, then that's really great, you know? And I think that was the biggest thing. And two, I ended up getting a therapist, and she helped me, and I literally vomited to her like everything that was going on. And she literally gave us homework and like, and what to do.
I would say for me, instead of like normally communicating like we would, I was just kind of like, well, like she shouldn't be mad about that. So I would just kind of like let it be. Right. And I think it just kind of kept, that also just kept adding to it, where it's like, for you, you're like, why aren't we talking
about these things? Right.
And for me, it's like that was so little and stupid, like she'll get over it.
Right. So that's essentially what it became like. Right. He was like, we'll move on from it. And I'm like, no, I want to talk about it. Right. And it was kind of like building so much, and it spiraled into this big, old, gigantic snowball. All right, so Lucas changed the battery, but it is 12 o'clock, and my brother just texted me, it's 10 more days and Christmas round the corner. No food, no toys, can't buy me liquor. Comment down below if you know that one. Okay, we're done. All right, so back where we were saying, I do gotta give a shout out to my therapist because she legit helped us both be able to find a common ground.
Right.
These questions really helped, and let me see if I can find them.
I think what was happening is that even when we would try to communicate, I was like saying the same thing over and over, and I'm like, well, it is what it is. She really did help whenever she like came up with the questions. It was like a third party to come in.
Exactly.
Like,
this really never happened to where we were so disconnected. We're like, I don't know how to get back. This might help you guys as well if you're going through problems or like what, you know, in your relationship or your marriage. So she says, walk yourself all the way through things. So like when you have an issue, walk yourself all the way through it. She says, talk to your husband and stop assuming. So a lot of the times, like, which is funny, that's my main motto. We're both assuming that, okay, let's assume this other person feels that way. I'm assuming that she feels this way, doing this, you know?
Right.
And instead of just assuming, just talk to them. Another thing is the I feel statements. I feel, like, how do you feel about each thing? You know, I feel sad about, you know, when da-da-da-da. I feel excited when da-da-da-da. Okay, so another big thing, because like Lucas was saying, I felt like I wasn't being heard because technically, I mean, like you said, it was kind of like, you know, let's just move on, right?
Right.
So one big thing she said was, so when you say something, right, say like, okay, this could be for you or it could be for your partner, okay? If your partner feels like he's not being heard or she's not being heard or vice versa, you know, say something, stop, and then have that other person reiterate what you said.
Right.
To see how they interpret it too.
Right.
Because that's how miscommunication can happen as well.
I remember doing that. That was actually really helpful.
That was very helpful.
So you're like, because we would go through something and be like say back to me like what we just talked about.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay. And then like sometimes it would be like, no, that's not
no,
what
that wasn't what I was saying. Right.
I'm like, oh shoot, okay, like I thought that's what you were saying.
Right, yeah. That helped big time.
Yeah.
Also, by the end of it, she wanted us to write down 10 things that we really, really loved about each other and then share with each other. So it's kind of like, you know, like a sandwich method. It's like, okay, even though we're going through this disagreement, you know, let's think about the good stuff too that we love about each other.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we started doing that and it was phenomenal. It got both of us to see each other's ways and like, okay. So that saved us from like essentially like having to like go full on, because she was gonna do couple therapy as well. But then honestly, that thing right there got us to be able to like get off the wave. Does that make sense?
Right.
Honestly, I feel like it helped us even with the postpartum period. At the end of the night, sit down, well, not every night, but like let's say 2 nights a week, you could think of things that work that day for the both of you guys and things that needs improvement or things that we both need to work on.
Right.
So let's say both teams worked very well with the kids, but maybe we need to work on courtship. And when we did those sit downs, we realized, oh shoot, we barely go out. We barely get to, what do you call it? Dates.
Yeah.
So then we're like, oh.
You don't even know what it's called. That's sad.
Oh.
That's how little we date.
So as you guys see, we've been trying to date more, and I think that's been helping so much. Not sparking, because we're best friends, but I think when you become best friends like that, you tend to forget like, oh, you know, you're also lovers as well, and you guys gotta court each other. You know, you gotta dress them in cute outfits and go out and like swing your hair and like, you know what I'm saying, be wined and dined. Actually really helped us. And obviously praying together, and we did a couple Bible, you know, a lot of people ask which Bible plans we do, and I always forget.
Yeah.
Because in the moment you're kind of like
Yeah.
But if you want to know, comment down below. But all those things definitely helped us be able to get back on track and on the train.
My whole takeaway from everything was how important communication truly is, and not to let things kind of blow over. No matter how big or small you think they are, it's gonna add up eventually.
Communicate, date. If you can't go out, set aside time. Which I mean, I'm preaching, but guess what? I have 2 kids, and I still don't.
Yeah, I know.
But I want another one still. I just love it, just for life. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video or this type of videos, and we could probably sprinkle some of these in our vlogs, especially since life is kind of crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit. Good crazy. I think I'm enjoying life way more now than I've ever have. I feel like I have a purpose in life when I have kids. I think I want like a big family now. I always wanted like 2, but I think I want to be surrounded by like a bunch. About like 3 kids, yeah.
You're like, what, 3 kids?
Surrounded by 3 kids and me. And we have dogs. They can help us around.
Oh man, don't get me started. I want like 10 dogs too. I want like 10 dogs.
You want
like
10 Leos doing this to you?
I don't mind.
His breast stinks.
It's just his breast stinks. And we're trying to do a video. I want like 10 dogs and 10 babies just like surrounding me like this and like just take over, guys. Take over my life. So comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what good thing you got from it, or your situation or something like that. And if you comment on your situations, let's see if others could also help comment, like reply to your situation.
Right.
So let's all help each other out.
There you go.
You know?
Everybody reply to someone else's comment.
Yeah, we love you guys so much, and we'll see you guys on the next odd day. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to hit all if you want to see more videos of us.
We love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye guys.